What's going on, everyone? Jason the Train Freak here, and I'm at the tracks. If you can't tell in the window behind me, I gotta get used to this. It's a little odd trying to do this on camera. It is a wet one today. So wet that I decided to take my lunch an hour and a half later than usual because by the time I would have left to go on lunch, it would have been pouring down the whole time. And so no point of doing any type of good rail fanning when it's just coming a complete pour down. So, little later than normal. I know some people will be able to make it, some won't, and that's fine. Either way it goes. But it looks like we're starting to get some people in. I'm starting to see the view count going up. So I hope everybody is having a great, what is today, Wednesday? So hump day? I believe it's Wednesday. Maybe someone can comment me or put in the comments and correct me if I'm off a day, because it just seems like all my days just run together here lately. So, yeah, Joe Rader says he is here. You are here, Joe, and you're the first comment that I've seen. So you get the crust to my pizza. Yo, Container Man, what's up? Hot minute, Roy. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Whereabouts in the country are you at now, Roy? But confirmed it is hump day, so that means the week is halfway over towards a good and exciting weekend. Temperature outside is pretty nice right now, considering the fact that we had a storm roll through here in about within the last hour. So Roy is in Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Misery. No trains coming that I know of. Also this morning I have been working at some of the other satellite branches too. And so I have no clue if when the rain stopped, if Union Pacific let the floodgates open or what. I don't know if any trains have come through this morning or not. So, oh, Joe, 93 there. Wow. Yeah, that's not nice for sure. I'll tell you that. It's 72 here. So it's nice, comfortable outside temperature. But I'm afraid that once the clouds, like it literally just stopped raining like 15 minutes ago, and I'm looking off in the distance towards my west, and I'm starting to see blue sky, which tells me once these clouds go, it's going to open up, and that means the sun's just going to be beaten down on wet ground, and I'm sure it's going to heat up quick, and it's going to turn steamy, and that's not what we want. We just had like a line of storms come through, just kind of a wave. Yo, Jason from the other side of the pond, welcome. I hope you were doing good over there, my friend. I saw where you had a video on your channel shoveling some coal in one of the steamers over there. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I did see the thumbnail, and it is on my to-do. So, and Dwight Curley's here too, so welcome, Dwight. Yeah, it was hot this morning too, Roy. Early this morning, pretty hot, clear, and then like I said, that line of storms just came through. It only rained for like maybe an hour and a half at most, but it was like a heavy downpour there at the beginning. So, but right now, signals are dark. No headlight in the distance. Don't know if we'll get a train today or not. I did try to go live yesterday, But I ended up having to take a detour and take my truck over to get an oil change, um, because I kind of let that lapse. So 11 hours of rain yesterday. Holy smokes. And it has been hot. Yesterday, I think they said we got to like 100, maybe 101 yesterday, Fahrenheit. And of course, with it being the dew point being very high, there was heat warnings out for high heat indexes. Heat indexes up to the 110s, 115s Fahrenheit. Um, so yeah, it was yesterday was brutally nasty as far as heat. Like you just wanted to stay inside or find a nice swimming pool, some type of watering hole, and even some of those were warm or would have been warm due to the insane amount of heat that we've had. But 11 hours of rain, man, y'all are pretty drenched. I'll tell you that. Hopefully, you're not getting what they're getting up in what is it, Minnesota, with that dam that breached. The water overflowed the dam there. I think it's called the Rapidan Dam. I don't know what river it's on, but it flows into the Minnesota River, which flows into the Mississippi. So, so Joe dropped a video out this morning. So I will make sure I try to check that out this afternoon as well, Joe. But hopefully y'all have so far a good week. It's been a decent one on my end. Be better if I could see some trains. Man, 2 people have died from that. Wow, Dwight, I did not know that. That's interesting. 2 people died. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. I've kept up with that a little bit, but not a lot. I've only seen what I've seen on YouTube. We've canceled our TV services, so like national news and whatnot. I don't follow that. The only thing that that I know that has been on the national news, and it's because it's happened in my state, is well, I don't want to say what it is because I'm afraid my video might get taken down with some of the words, and I don't know of any other words except for maybe someone practiced their Second Amendment in not the ways that the Second Amendment was intended. And I will leave it at that. So, and that's in a town that um, I kind of grew up around. My uncle used to live in that town. It's not a very big town. It's like I mean, it's not a podunk town either, but it's just a decent sized town. So, wow, the house actually fell. I saw where the shed fell in, but not the full house. So the house, that White House, fully fell in. Wow, I'm gonna have to look at that. Oh, that's nice, Roy. 10,000 views? Yeah, you can't beat that. So, yeah, that's every day in Baltimore. I believe that. I would believe that. I don't know, man. It's just like, what's the world coming to these days? That was like I was at one of my library branches and doing some IT work over there, and I was in the process of finishing up, and they were doing an adult program at bingo. Gotta love bingo, right? And it was a whole bunch of older women, like 15 to 20 older women in this small, rural town. And they just started talking politics. And I'm like, look, I got to get up out of here because they were going back and forth, back and forth. So one person didn't like this one and one person didn't like that one. And I'm like, really? So, yeah, my phone just tried to dark out on me. I don't know why it did that. That's weird. That's very weird. Who knows? I'm not totally up on my conversions, and I don't have a calculator with me. But what is 14 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? You know us Americans, we don't do Celsius. The only one I know is 32 degrees Celsius. I mean, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. That's all I know. Well, that and 212 degrees Fahrenheit is 100 degrees Celsius. So, other than that, I have no earthly idea. Like, I know it's some weird conversion. It's like something in 3/5 or like some weird fraction, and then you have to add 32 to it. Oh, wow. So you got a friend in Alaska. She's going on another train ride tomorrow and going to be sitting in the dome car. Ooh, that's nice. That would definitely be on my bucket list to maybe ride the McKinley Explorer to go see Mount McKinley. That would be really, really cool to go see. There's just not enough scenic train rides in the U.S. Considering that, passenger traveling through the U.S. is not that great. You know, better than not having it at all, but it's still not that great. Nope, still no headlights, still no green signals. So I'm gonna be kind of going and looking, in that direction, that way. The way my truck is sitting at, and I know Jason, this is probably the first time you see me sit here. So I'm gonna flip my camera around so that way you can see my vantage point. But you can see the railroad tracks right in front of me. 14 degrees Celsius is 57.2. That's nice. But you can see the tracks sitting right in front of me, and I've actually taken Roy, container man, to this spot before. This is like the ideal rail fanning spot. You have a double track bidirectional main, which means trains go both directions on both tracks. And off to my left, and I can't zoom in on the camera, or I mean off to my right, I can't zoom in and show you that the tracks, what you don't see in front of you is it's actually a slight bend, so the tracks are bending in front of you. It's not straight. And then, but it straightens out, and where it straightens out is like 6 miles of just straight track. And I can see signals about a mile, and so it can tell me that if a train is coming from what would be on the left side of your screen, or if I see a headlight way off in the distance, then I know a train's coming from the right side of the screen. Just pretty much whatever passes, Jason. I don't know of anything special coming through right now. I do know that later in the fall, September-ish, the Union Pacific Big Boy, the 4014, is supposed to come back through. And so I'll definitely, when I find out what the dates are for it to come through, I will definitely take off that day. And I'll probably just go ahead and go up to Bald Knob, and because I've already caught it highballing through Cabot before. But I'll probably just go up to Bald Knob and find me a good spot up there at the station and maybe try to do it live and get like a good of it approaching into Bald Knob at the station there. So, but anyway, so right now, and of course, Union Pacific doesn't operate on timetables, so you have no clue when something's coming. Amtrak comes through here too, but typically at nighttime. But there has been times that I've caught it during the day because something happens and they're, so many hours behind schedule. Which, I mean, here it's right at 1 o'clock p.m. And so if Amtrak was to come through about this time, it would be they were 10 hours behind, which is really bad. Yes, we did. We missed the UP 1982. We missed that UP Mopac Heritage Unit. And funny thing that you say that, Roy, is not last Friday, but the Friday before, when I started doing these live streams. I was on Steve Childers Live, and I saw, I had a train go through, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. That it went that direction. But then I saw a yellow signal, and I'm like, a yellow? Normally it would be a green, not a yellow. So I thought that was maybe by accident or something. And, this train comes through, and I didn't get the camera switched over in time. And it was a Norfolk Southern buzzsaw unit. It was a heritage unit. So I ended up missing that. Hey, Leslie. Long time no see, buddy. And Tim from CP368 Productions is here as well. I don't know if that means we're laid back. Because that train, that's the Texas Eagle, and I mean, 10 hours late, hey, that's great for me because I get to see Amtrak during the day and not at night, because the northbound one comes through about right after midnight, and the southbound comes through at 3:40 in the morning. So if one is really late and I can see it during the daytime, hey, kudos to me, right? But typically we just get standard freight trains. Last Friday's live stream was hot, I'll tell you that. We have 4 trains come through within less than an hour, and both of those were meets, and so that's where 2 trains come together. And so that was really cool to see. We had a stack train, mixed freight. I think it was mostly mixed freight, but there was one stack train in there. Well, so Tim, up north, they have more Amtraks, like more trains. So they'll have like more than one Capital Limited, more than one Cardinal. Down here, you got 2 Texas Eagles. One's going south and one's going north, and that's it. And, the distance between Chicago, Illinois, and San Antonio, Texas, is a whole lot further than Chicago and like New York City. So, yeah, Roy is Container Man for those who are wondering. So, wouldn't fit the railroad theme, John. Who's John? Is John here? I don't see a John. Did I miss a John? I see a Joe, Dwight, a Les, my fellow Jason from the other side of the pond, but I don't see a John. So maybe Tim's confused. Yeah. CP3. Oh, wow. Oh man, y'all are funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be here for, about another 30 minutes. You never know. Something might pop in, because when I was here Monday, we had no luck. And then it's like, soon as it's time for me to go back to work, I see a headlight off in the distance. So, I mean, Union Pacific, they don't ever have some type of, set schedule, which makes, trying to predict when these trains are going to come any easier. I don't have any type of software to look at that kind of tells me where the trains are located. Like, some railroads will have what's called the AX monitor, or ATCS. And so, Arkansas Traveler Hobbies, which is up in Bald Knob, Arkansas, they have it, but not for down here. So, MH&E Railroad. How's it going, Thomas? Yeah, there's plenty of spikes. Let me turn the camera around for you. And then I can show you. There's a ton of spikes right there. I don't see any loose ones, but I see them down in the tie plates. And I'm sure those are a whole bunch of Union Pacific spikes. Unless spikes are all just, you know, interchangeable now. But there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of you Johns. Even though, ironically, I haven't seen a John pop up in here yet. So that's kind of odd. So maybe there's some lurking Johns around. Who knows? Can you find me some? Well, I could try. I could try to find you some. The best Union Pacific spikes to find is actually along the old Union Pacific route. This would have been the old Missouri Pacific route. Oh, you got shingles, huh? 8 pallets. Jesus. That's quite a bit of pallets, Roy. But that shit, 8 pallets doesn't fill up your whole trailer, though, does it? I would think you could get more than 8. That would be, what, 4 on each side? You can probably get close to, what, 16, 20 pallets total? I would think. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've worked in, well, I used to work in grocery years ago, and I had to unload, 53-footers. And I know the trailers are wide enough that you can get pallets side by side in there, but honestly never counted how many pallets I pulled out. So but going back to that last Friday live stream, the coolest thing would have been is the fact that y'all got to see me take home the last safe tran grade crossing mechanical bell. And it still works. Union Pacific finally decided to replace it with one of the electronic bells. So, okay, normal is 16 to 22 depending on the weight. Just a short backhaul for me. Oh, okay. So there you go. But yeah, no train as of right now. It could be another one of those dead days. I mean, there's just days like that. So is everybody having a good day? So, I mean, it's depending on where you're at. It's either towards the end of your day. For me, it's in the middle of the day, or actually towards the end of the middle of the day, and it's turning into the later part of the day for me. Hey, LNA Railway Productions. Good times at lunch. It'd be even better if a train would come by. But no train. Kind of like that day that I was railfanning. Me and Robert was railfanning with you and Mose, and we were trying to track down that one train, and we could never find it. So I ran trains, so good day for me. There you go, Joe. Now, I did get to work on a couple of my buildings, sawmill, some of the smaller sawmill buildings. I finally got my package in from Iron Planet Hobbies, and I did use the human code for 10% off and free shipping. But I ordered me some more of the Woodland Scenics gooseneck lamps. And so I got those in, and I started tapping holes and running the wires through and gluing those on the buildings. Mainly the wood chipper and the debarker. So, Tim's looking forward for payday tomorrow. I heard that. So yeah, oppressively hot. Yeah, it's been that way too here, Les. Like right now, it's not bad. It's only 72 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Container Man can convert that to Celsius for you if you would like for him to. But it's not terrible now, but enough that my AC is kicked back on. Um, but yesterday it was like triple digits Fahrenheit. It was an 11-year-old boy that caught the house falling into the river. Wow. So is that like, is it on YouTube or is it on like the Weather Channel, or where'd you see that at, Dwight? Man, that stinks. Like, there's nothing you can do when it comes to flooding. And so, like, just to see that the ground is eroding, closer and closer and closer to your house, and then, you know, there's nothing you can do to stop it, nothing you can do to prevent it. And then just watch your house, the place that you live in. It's got all your stuff just falling. Yeah, I knew they were doing some evacuations, especially down river from the dam. And see, this is what doesn't get me is on that dam, it looked like the gates were still up. Like, why were the gates not open? And then I looked closer, and it looked like the building that would control the gates is all boarded up. So, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense for me that the water is really black. Well, that's because there's a lot of dirt in it. So your credit card comes in 3 days, and then Social Security comes on the 1st. Okay. Well, that's cool, Tim. That means you're going to use and buy a whole bunch of train stuff, right? Oh, I don't think they have any power to raise the gates. Well, yeah, I can see that now because some of the power got damaged with the water overflowing. But even though they, why was the gates left down if they were going to decommission that dam? They should have had the gates up no matter what. To me it doesn't make sense. But maybe it's not meant for me to make, for it to make sense to me. Who knows? So, oh, well, still no train. Just one of those days that you're hanging out with the freak. Village taxes and school taxes. Okay. Oh, 88. It's warm. That's warm. It's a little warm. 72 is typically what we say is room average here. So I mean, 88, it's bearable. It's on the upper end of getting outside of bearable. Yeah, 82 is definitely bearable, but 88 is definitely warm. Right now it's 72. Now this morning, before the storms came in, it was 91. So, but it's 72 right now. But I'm starting to see the clouds subsiding. I'm starting to see. Look, if you look behind me, like right here, that is all blue sky. And if I take my camera and if I flip the camera around, which you're probably seeing my little finger touching my phone. If you look this way, it's all overcast. So, yeah, blue sky behind me, and I would say the clouds, the edges of the cloud is right above me. So, and what I'm afraid of is it getting hot and where the sun's starting to beam down on all the wet ground and like the wet asphalt, and it's just going to start steaming. And you get that I'm in a sauna feeling. So, yeah, it, exactly. Get ready to bake. Exactly. I mean, Joe knows. So, had a huge thunderstorm on, I think, Thursday. Recorded it on my dash cam and phone driving home. Just tons of lightning for about 20 miles. Well, that's how it starts. Dwight, 76. Oh, man, you can't complain if it's 76. 76 is a good temperature. Definitely can't complain with that. But anyways, now up to 95. Okay, that you can complain about, Joe. That is one you definitely want to stay inside because it's miserable. Just that heat, man. It's no bueno, man. No good. Here, I'll do this for y'all. So that way you get a little bit of action. Instead of trains today, yeah, he's still in camera. You might be able to see right above my finger. Looks like a little dot. That is a C-130 aircraft. United States Air Force. So that's right now. That's all the action you're getting is a plane flying. Oh wow! It increased 2 degrees since I've started. So 2 degrees in 30 minutes. That's up there. That's up there, Joe. 79 inside, man. Do you not have air conditioning? If not, I feel sorry for you, Tim. Man, I would not do it. I could not do it. I don't know how the people back in the old times did it. Not having any type of air conditioning or whatnot. Man, that's tough. Oh, dude. Man, I feel sorry for you. But even the places that we went to, like up in the Rocky Mountains, like Durango, uh, our condo didn't even have air conditioning. But I'll tell you this, like it was pretty warm during the day, and it was a good thing that the condo had a swimming pool, for Amanda and the kids, because I was in the process of I was at Soundtracks, doing my dealer training and whatnot, and you know, but at nighttime, what we did was we opened up the window and had like a box fan and just had it pulling air in. And it got chilly at night, man. It got frigid. We would wake up and it's like upper 40s, lower 50s. So but if you went in there and you turned or if you went up and closed that window, it got hot and stuffy in there again. For heat, they had a fireplace, but it's the condo was at a ski resort, And of all names, I told Amanda, I said, you did a great job picking where we're staying at. And it was called Purgatory. Of all places, you put us in Purgatory. It's supposed to be a joke. But anyways, during those 90 to 100 plus days, I was just soaked in sweat away from the fan. Even just sitting on the toilet, it was miserable. I would believe that. I could believe that. I mean, I've been camping a few times, and at scout camp and whatnot during the summertime in the bathhouses, it's literally now the bottom of the floor is open, so like it's only ankle high, where the wall doesn't go all the way down, and they have to do that due to it being a flood area, so that way the water can get through. But the roof is that clear plastic, so you get in there and it's like the sun's beaming down on this clear plastic, and it's like heating up the inside, dude. That was horrible, straight up horrible. It made you take care of your business, get in and get out. So thank you, Leslie. I'm glad you I'm glad you got that joke. And then the funny thing about the ski resort is during the summer when there is no snow, they do have other things to do there. And so us from being in Arkansas, we have hills, not mountains. And so we took my nephew with us, Bryson, and he thought mountain bike, you know, he went mountain bike riding, okay? So he thought it was going to be just like doing that in Arkansas. He had no clue what it's like to do mountain biking up in the Rocky Mountains, where Durango's at. And he ended up breaking his arm. He washed out, broke his arm because he was going too fast. It's a good thing it didn't kill him. But yeah, they offer mountain biking on some of the slopes, on some of the ski slopes, because there's no snow. So they have other options of things for you to do there. So that was pretty cool. I will say that. Yep. Well, and see, Tim, even with having like air conditioning, I'll tell you this. Um, we have a ceiling fan in our bedroom, and I cannot sleep if that ceiling fan's not on. Like, I have to have some type of air movement going on, like all night long. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that camera back around. So if it shakes, that's my finger tapping the screen. And there we go. But anyways, but yeah, not much happening today, guys. At least I got you a C-130. That's better than nothing, right? Even though I know most of us are not really into planes, but better than nothing. I mean, it'd be really cool if even just a little high rail came through. But I don't know. Maybe Union Pacific is either they did a huge release of traffic at once, or maybe with the amount of rain that was coming through, they're probably doing track inspections just to make sure there's no washouts. UP has not had a good track record in the state of Arkansas for the month of June so far. Two derails, and then they had a tank car with nitric acid. The pressure valve the pressure valve failed. So it was leaking nitric acid all in the air. And so that actually happened 10 miles up the tracks from me. And so that Monday I was doing the test recording with this camera mount. That's one of the fire department was walking up and down the tracks. I just saw 3 lead, 2 mid, and I think 1 tail UP mixed freight here. Sorry, no video. That's cool. Yeah, they do airdrops here too, Tim, but not where I'm at. I'm on the return path, and a lot of times what they're doing is what's called touch and go. So as they're coming in on the return, they start lowering, they get their wheels down, and they just hit that runway just to smoke the tires, and then they're going right back up. Now they do drops, but they take a bigger path when they do that. So, but not where I'm at. And still nothing. So today's just going to be one of those days, guys. I can only hang out for about another 10 minutes, and then I'll have to call it quits. But just one of those days. Some days you get a lot, some days you get nothing. And that's just part of it. So, but I do appreciate everyone hanging out with me. So Little Rock was more fun when they had the B-58 Hustler bombers there. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if they've got one of those over in the museum there in Jacksonville. I know they have the old ICBM control panel there in that museum. They used to do drops in my county, but the Niagara Falls Air Reserve was switched to in-flight refueling instead of cargo transport. Yeah, here, Little Rock Air Force Base, which also has Air Guard as well, they are a supply post. Now, every once in a while, you'll see fighter jets come through here, and you'll see like I don't know what those planes are called, but they have like a big sonar, like above them. It's kind of weird looking. But I've caught one of those here doing, I guess, some type of scanning mission. There is one on display at the front gate. That's probably changed since then. I don't think that's they have a. I don't think that's what they. I don't think they have it at the front gate anymore. A little late there, Roy. Just a little late. Yeah. Well, purgatory is not hell. Purgatory is the place that you die, and it either, that's where you go to to see if you're admitted into heaven or if you get sent to hell. So the gates of purgatory. Now we do get, they do an air show every year here too. So oh, that's neat, Leslie. Dutch and Belgian air forces visiting the local airport to do mock bombing practices on a nearby bombing range. Yo! It's the first John of the day. We finally got a John in the house. Even though it's John number 7. What is cracking, Mystic? I don't know what witchcraft voodoo stuff you are dishing out on me today, but you got to stop that because we all want to see trains come through here. Like, you got to stop, man. Oh, man. I got to give Mystic a hard time on that one. But yeah, Mystic, ain't much shaking. Everybody got to see a C-130 fly over up in the air, but tracks are pretty dead. Hold on, I think I might see a signal. Negative. Well, I definitely need that good voodoo on me if that's the case, because I would definitely like something to go across the tracks today. I don't know. It seems like ever since I got the bail on Friday, we ain't seen a train since. I've heard plenty of them because I only work 10 blocks away from the railroad track, so I can hear. Sometimes I can hear the prime movers in Notch 8 before I even hear the horn, as they're coming into town. My office is also on an exterior wall, so that sometimes helps too. But yeah, now of course I've been at other locations this morning, so I have no clue if any trains came through or not. But there's no specific schedule, except for supposedly the passenger train's supposed to be on a schedule, but it doesn't hardly ever stick to it. And that typically comes through the night hours anyways. If a passenger train comes through here during the day, then that's just really bad. Yeah, but Roy, the only thing about your office is it's constantly moving with you. And sometimes that could be a good thing, because like if you're going up through like Echo Canyon, that's pretty cool. But if you're going up through Echo Canyon during like January and February when it's snow packed, I don't know if I would want to be going up through Echo Canyon at that time. Just saying. I am one guy that does not. I mean, I like winter weather to an extent, but I am not one that likes it enough to want to fully delve into it and travel through it, especially with a trailer. Is it not? I know there's some areas that get pretty gnarly during the winter time. Maybe that's what, I-80 through, is it I-80 that goes through Colorado? Or is it I-70? I do know there's no I-50 or I-60. That I do know. See, that's a good question, Mystic. I'm pretty sure they do. Probably with hazard pay. See, I don't know if I wouldn't even want to do that. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to hop off of here. I got to go back to work, get clocked in here in about 5 minutes. Or I got to be back in 5 minutes. Just to remind everyone, okay, 70 through Colorado, 80 through Wyoming and Utah. Got it. I will be releasing episode 3 of Rail Yard Tagging Friday this week. I've got a lot of good pictures on that. If you want to jump in on it, go check out one of the other episodes of Rail Yard Tagging where all the pictures are not from me. It's from all of y'all. And so if you want to share what you're doing, make sure you go and join the Facebook group. And if you're not able to do Facebook, feel free to shoot me an email and we can try to work something out on that. So, but yeah, make sure you try to go check that out. Yeah, unfortunately, no trains today, Joe. No Onion trains, Onion Pacific trains today. So you'll have to go stick with your Chessie and BRC trains down in your basement, unfortunately, today. But I will try to be back out here tomorrow, and hopefully it doesn't storm about my normal time, which is about 11 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, 12 o'clock noon. And who knows, maybe we'll see something. I think it just depends on the day. Depends on the day, depends on the time. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't get lucky. And today, luck's not on my side at all. So, it is what it is. So, other than that, y'all be safe out there. I wish y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday, your hump day. And I will be looking forward to seeing y'all next time. So, take care. Happy railroading.